Good morning. So, today's next day in a succession of days that increasingly seem to be blending into each other and yeah, just passing one after another. Um, the good news is that today I feel quite a lot more aligned and present within me. I can feel right now that there's like a lot of unprocessed pain and states of fear and panic, that kind of stuff inside me. And yesterday, last night, I somehow I uh, I managed to get back into those states a little bit, and then I finally managed to take a shower again after at least 2 days, I guess. That always helps, and yeah, and I was able to listen to some yeah well some content that helps me to align with myself and be more centered in myself, and it always makes a huge difference. So that's where I'm right now. So it's like a quarter to 8 in the morning. Um, it's quite cold. The grass is still wet with dew. I think talking to the camera for quite a long time last evening, just afternoon, did help as well. Just because I remember I did go into that, like while I was talking, I did go into that those that painful state in my body and my mind, and yeah, it must have helped, because there nothing really big or heroic happened last night. It was just small steps. So yesterday I was quite sure that I'd rather go home. Right now I'm undecided, because there's always different parts of you that want different things, and some are more focused on the short term and others more on the long term, and yeah, but I think I've talked a lot about that already. It's just it's, yeah, it's just important always to make a decision based on what feels right, and you can always change your decision at any time. So for right, yeah, I mean, what I really would like to do is actually go and visit my parents who live away, like an hour away from this city. So it's not not yeah. So I would have to stay for a couple of days or something. Uh, and yeah, maybe that's something interesting to explore. What this could be a possibility. Uh, Spend a couple of days there. Uh, I have an appointment with a with a clinic um, for the detox or rehab for my for the tranquilizers I'm taking. So here they've only reduced it by a quarter. Mm, um, and at this point, I don't know what. I mean, I definitely want to get off this medication, but it seems more important to me just to be able to function to a minimal degree in daily life. And ever since I've been here for the past 2 weeks, I'm just spending all day in bed. And it seems, I mean, when I look at my face like this, and it seems my body isn't very happy and not well nourished. And of course, there's just not enough movement on any level. And I see there's like dark circles under my eyes. So I'm not getting the rest and proper nutrition I need. So that would be my priority, to actually be in a state where I can go for a walk and do stretches and maybe some yoga or qigong, because I know of how much tremendous help that is, and to be able to just do things and be more active, or at least be, be focused on myself and not be distracting myself, as it has been for the past couple of days, even yesterday. But in the evening, at night, it shifted a bit. Which is good, but doesn't, yeah, still doesn't feel like a solution. You'd want to extend and extend and extend, just being immobile and just being in bed. But and being aligned, like on a mental level, but not really with your body. It's not being expressed in your body, and the surroundings make it not necessarily easier. I mean, the surroundings are just more minimalistic than in any other place. So, but that would be the case even if I stayed with my parents. Though, I mean, so far my experience has been that even there I would be in bed all the time, because my nervous system is just overreacting to their energy, and so it's been years since the last time that I was there, and I was able to like just go out, go for a walk, stuff like that. Maybe not that long, but really going out in a regular fashion. No, I'm not sure. Definitely not this year, and not last year either. Uh, yes. So that's the question: whether does it make sense to actually make detoxing from those tranquilizers uh, the priority, or wouldn't it be much better to be able to function with uh, the right and fitting medication or circumstances, and then I could very naturally just reduce the dosage and let them fall away. I mean, they're not effective for helping me function. They're just what I've always been prescribed very easily, and my health insurance would pay for it. S- so there was always plenty of that there, and that was the thing that worked for an emergency. But it doesn't. Well, yeah, I do think that a lot of the problems of my nervous system have been very much exacerbated by taking those medications over such a long period of time, even with longer breaks in between. Um, but I'd be pretty surprised if I like uh, completely detox from it, and then suddenly my body would be all balanced and functioning. It might be possible because if there's no medication involved whatsoever, it's much easier for the body to find balance and restore balance, and the like the avenue between the mind and the body and all the other parts of my being is much more open, and it's easier to change and to for the different parts to mutually influence each other. Um, I just remember the time before I ever took that medication, and I had the same problems. And I was lying in bed all time, all the time, and um, yeah, there are actually people passing right now, so I can think about what I actually want to say. Um, yeah, so back then I had the same problem. That was kind of paralyzed in my bed, and I was very much driven to distract myself with technology, with my computer. Uh, though I I never had any. I didn't have problems like with simple daily tasks like brushing my teeth and showering, and I think even cooking wasn't a problem until like I think it was like in more or less exactly, yeah, about 3 years ago was the last time I really cooked a proper nice meal for myself. And until then it was all still possible, but until then I'd, I'd also been taking those tranquilizers for an extended period of time. It's like about 8 years, 7 years altogether, up to now. So yeah, you cannot so easily correlate all these things. Um, though it, I mean, apparently for the doctors here, and I don't get to talk to anybody much. It's just a couple of minutes twice a week. So yeah, for them it seems to be an easy case, and so they just say, yeah, first reduce that medication to 0 and go on from there. And maybe that's the proper way to do it. That's why I don't want to run away from that opportunity. Because I might be thinking from a part of myself that wants a quicker solution, and I just need to give it lots of time. But I mean, we're really talking about probably talking about months. I mean, 2 weeks have passed and nothing has been changed at all, and I may have somewhat stabilized myself staying here for the past 2 weeks. Not sure. Surroundings are more minimalistic, as I said. I feel quite dissociated from myself and the world outside and my surroundings too. So I cannot even say for sure what it would be like right now to be outside. So I do actually feel quite a strong desire to be outside again in the quote unquote real world, or yeah, just in different surroundings, more familiar surroundings, not necessarily more comfortable ones, but I mean, this desire doesn't only spring from the, it's not only yearning for a quick resolution of a state that's very uncomfortable, but it also looks at the whole issue from a much more wholesome perspective than, for example, my doctors here would look at it. So I'm concerned about taking care and nourishing my body, about moving my body, nourishing it through the movement, about getting the energy circulating again, about just psychologically lifting up my mood again by by just having a certain degree of stimulation and activity, which all are things that bring about lots and lots of healing. And here I am spending some time in nature, but basically that's identical to all the time that's on camera. So that's not much either. But well, both is helpful. Just physically being in nature and just talking to myself into my phone. And combined, it works very well. I think if I had like a single room and not three other people in my room, and if I was doing this from my room, the energy would be quite different. And being out here in nature, surrounded by birdsong, and the noises of activity of people just all around the area, and just the world moving in scores like blood pulsating and spiraling through your veins. It makes you feel much more alive and calm at the same time. So yeah, that's interesting. So in the course of talking for what's now 20 minutes already, so I can rest quite assured that nobody else is watching at this point. My opinion has kind of swung back a little, and I'm thinking, yeah, I better get out of here and I can try to contact my parents and see it would be like they invited me to come visit them a couple of weeks ago. Back then I declined because I was already in such a bad condition that it just wouldn't have been possible. I was already trying to get admitted to the hospital at that point. So I can just ask again. And actually my parents' wedding anniversary is coming up. Their 40th wedding anniversary, actually. But it's in like 3 days, so I guess I won't be there to congratulate them in person. Yeah. So that's something different, new I can do. It's really nice to be here and be here with somebody I resonate very much and I cherish a lot, which is myself, and I'm giving myself the space and time, and I'm holding the space to talk about these things and just mull them over, even if it's just going in circles. And I can see like how pieces that were in my mind before coming out here have now more come together a bit more, and it's kind of showing me different choices I still could make. Um, hmm, I think I'm almost out of time, but I could just play on my drum for 5 minutes. Guess that would be making good use of the time. Okay, so goodbye, George. Goodbye, world. Uh, See you again soon. And I'm really curious when the background and also my clothes will change. It gets a bit boring. Have these very much hospital-looking colors on me all the time. I mean, I did bring some private clothes, but as I mentioned, I'm barely able to function, so I haven't even. Yeah, it's. I mean those are the advantages of being in a hospital, that you're just getting your meals at breakfast at 7:15, lunch 11:45, dinner is 5:15 p.m. Uh, and there's like clothes you can wear, and yeah, you can just be in bed and don't don't have to worry about anything. But maybe that's at this point it's enough already, and uh, yeah, I don't know. There's this saying that you better exit on a high than on a low, right? Uh, though I mean there are lots of sayings and adages, and just because people repeat them doesn't mean that there's anything to it. But that I mean, I could make this point and just say I leave when I'm feeling good, rather than when it's so unbearable that I just cannot take it anymore. Which I mean, just one day ago, I was at that point. Uh, uh, yeah, but let's just see what happens. That's the exciting thing about life, I guess, and also about this story unfolding and being filmed here. And let's look up at this magnificent crown of the lime tree, beautiful tree. And I'll stop the video and see what there's a couple of minutes left for me to play on my drum.